Welcome to Survival Theory. I'm out in the woods today. I'm relocating my camp. It was below freezing last night, and it has not gone above freezing since. It was supposed to, but it isn't. At least I think it was supposed to. Who knows? But it's below freezing, and it's going to be even colder tonight. And I don't have a sleeping bag. I would like to have my military sleep system, but I don't have it. So I'm going to rely on some blankets, a good shelter, and a good fire to stay warm. Well, I started to cut down that tree because it's a potential widowmaker, but it's dang solid, and I was shaking it, trying to break the top off, but it's pretty solid, so I'm just going to leave it. I'm looking around. I don't really see any other obvious widowmakers anyway. Well, I tell you, that warms me up though, which is good. It's friggin' cold. Did I mention earlier that I was not prepared for cold weather? Now I've got these gloves because I typically carry them in winter, but I did not bring the right leather gloves. These are too small to fit over those military gloves. So it's leather only for a little while I get this shelter built. So, cutting all this material, getting a little bit too warm, so I've got to remove a layer so I can cool down. I don't want to sweat and get wet. Fire kit. Don't leave home without it, even in a pine forest. So in these last few minutes of light, while this is boiling, I think I'm going to set up the bedding. I've got an insulated sleeping pad, the Nemo pad, a wool blanket, the Get Out Gear down blanket, and then just like a regular thin cotton blanket. That should feel good against the skin. I'll put the wool blanket on top of everything because of sparks. You know, that wool blanket should be fairly resistant to sparks. So let me get that set up. See, that is October 1956. So my mountain house should be ready now. The water's still hot for cocoa later. That'll burst into flame in a little bit. Starting to cool down too, but the bedding's all done. I got the wool on top, and then the puffy down blanket. Then I've got just a sheet, thin sheet, so I don't have to feel that insulated pad. Should work out. Bon appetit. So I'm going to take off my pants and my sweatshirt, put on some thick socks, and then crawl into bed. If I get too cold, there's some firewood right there. See you in the morning. Another beautiful morning. I'll get that fire going. Oh, it's cold. There's a little bit of ice in my canteen. Wow. So that was a really good sleep. I was able to sleep in a good position. I stayed warm. I thought my feet were cold, but they were actually sweating. So I had to kind of move my feet around, create more space where my feet were, and that helped the situation. Yeah, I slept good. Very, very comfortable. I had a leg pillow, a head pillow, and the wool blanket and the down blanket did the job. Pretty much kept the fire going all night, because when I would wake up or be half awake, I'd just reach over and throw another log or some sticks on. So, pretty cool. Now for the breakfast of champions. So when this bacon is frozen, it just breaks apart when you try to put it on the stick, but it's quick to thaw out, quick to cook. Pine smoked bacon. Gotta love bacon. One thing about using this creek water, it looked like hot cocoa before I added the hot cocoa. So while I still have some embers, I'm going to get all packed up because I need those embers to keep my hands warm. It's freaking cold. I have to look up what temperature it was and put it on the screen for you. Very cold for Texas, that's for sure. So this lifesaver right here, this down blanket, is the get out gear down puffy blanket. I'm going to put out a video review on this, but listen to this. I'm going to give away 2 of these. So yeah, I'm going to give away 2 of them. So look for that video because giving out 2 of them. So I'm all packed up, but had to build a quick flash fire to warm my hands up while I finish this hot cocoa. Hands are pretty dang cold. Definitely got to warm them up before I put on my gloves. So all in all, I'm happy with this trip. When I parked my truck, I had 4.5 hours of light. I was able to hike out here, wander around a little while, find a spot, build a shelter, build a fire, build a reflector wall, get my blanket set up, my sleeping pad set up. And I don't remember if I started cooking before dark, but I think I was about to or something. So all in all, it's pretty good. I brought a tarp, but while I was hiking, I decided not to use it and build a shelter. And I was hoping I had enough time to. Well, thanks for watching Survival Theory. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.